All right, we are back with part two of our every week's biggest game predictions. We did weeks 1 through 7 last time. So we're back for week 8 through 14th, which
Yep.
will take us to the end of the season. And I don't want to waste any time with the intro. So, week 8, SMU at Clemson, a rematch of an absolute thriller ACC championship game last year. Clemson pulled it out with a game winning field goal, I believe,
Yeah.
from like 50 something yards out. It was a crazy kick. SMU coming in with revenge on their mind. But as I said, coming in, you're going to Death Valley.
Yes.
You're not winning in that environment. This Clemson defense is going to be top at of the nation this year. They're really good. I think Cade Klubnik and the offense will have things figured out by then.
Yeah. We're middle of the season.
Middle of the season. So they'll have that ball rolling, and I think they'll keep it rolling with the win over SMU, who doesn't have the toughest schedule heading into this game. They've got to play Baylor and then go to TCU. Those two games can present some trouble.
Yep.
But other than that, you see already, if SMU wins up till Clemson, they'll be ranked pretty high in the preseason poll. I think they had them 12th, something like that. So they're already ranked high. If they keep winning, this will be a statement win for the Tigers. Get back on track after that early season loss to LSU.
I'm still the kind of guy that believes that SMU may have just been a flash in the pan.
Cinderella.
Last year. Yeah, I think it may have been a blip on the radar. I'm not really sure if they can come back and do that a second time in a row, 2 seasons in a row. I look for them to take a little bit of a step back here, and this will be one of the games where it won't be like the ACC championship. I think Clemson will win this game pretty handily.
Yeah, I understand. And I've kind of been going back and forth on whether SMU is a Cinderella or not. They still got quarterback Kevin Jennings, but he has to lock in on the turnovers if SMU wants to be anything this year. Because what he did in Penn State last year was absolutely abysmal. So
real shaky.
He has to do better, lock in on the turnovers, control the ball, take care of it first and foremost, and then SMU might be able to do something. One loss to Clemson, you might be able to get that rematch in the ACC championship. I doubt they'll probably have another loss somewhere along that line, but hey, you're still in good position with this loss. All right, moving on to week 9. Alabama at South Carolina. South Carolina is known for a tough road environment. They usually get one upset game at home per year.
Okay.
Call me crazy, but I think by week 9, all the question marks about the playmakers and defense will be answered, and I think SC gets the upset over Bama. It seems like the past few years, like I said, their tough road environment has presented some trouble for these higher-ranked teams. Now, South Carolina, they won't be ranked over Bama probably at this point, but they'll still be a high-ranked team. This is a really hungry and really good South Carolina team this year. Like I said, they have question marks with playmakers and the defense, but I think they'll be answered at this point. And their quarterback, Lenore Sellers, he's elite. He can make plays with his legs and through the air. I think South Carolina gets a huge win, boosting their playoff hopes in this game against Bama, knocking off Bama to give Bama this will be their first loss of the season, I think.
Interesting. I don't see that happening. I'll be honest with you. While I don't have a whole lot of faith in Alabama's offense, with Ty Simpson, question marks on what's going to happen there. But I think in this game, he'll be able to shine because South Carolina's defense does not look like they have the horses to hang with that Alabama offense. You got a stud offensive line on Alabama, and you got a stud receiver for Alabama. I think that's going to be enough. Plus, they have a decent running game, so they'll be able to run the ball on South Carolina as well. I think that'll be enough for them to be able to take control of that game, maintain control of the game, and quiet the crowd early, and then they go on to win that game. I don't think it'll be a blowout by any stretch of the imagination, but I could see Alabama winning this game by about 10.
Okay. And like I said, picking South Carolina, it's a hot take, but I have faith in the South Carolina team. They are trending upwards ever since last season. I was big heading into the offseason on them, and I'm still riding that train. I think South Carolina is going to be something this year, and I think this is where Bama gets tripped up. You see it happen a few times last year.
Yeah.
Norman, Oklahoma, tough environment. You got tripped up. Vanderbilt, not known for being a tough environment, probably wasn't that game, but you got them going early, got tripped up. So these tough environments have tripped Kalen DeBoer, and I think it happens again this year.
Yeah, I think he should have his attitude together. His approach to the game should be better, and not he after the Vanderbilt game he should learn you can't overlook anybody.
Yeah. Week 10, these games have been good almost every single year. Penn State at OSU. Now, at the time of this recording, the preseason poll just came out, and they have Penn State ranked above Ohio State.
Yes.
Heading into the season. By this game, I think OSU with a few bigger wins will probably be above Penn State. But nonetheless, a huge game, and you know what that means. Huge games, James Franklin folds like a lawn chair. It's inevitable. We can try and fool ourselves every year and say, oh, well, this time, James Franklin's going to get it done. We haven't seen it since 2016.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about just the big games in terms of Michigan sometimes and OSU. You even look back at 2019, losing to Minnesota in a big game, losing to Indiana a few years later in a big opener. He just can't win the big games. Not to talk about, Notre Dame last year. Yeah. Don't even want to mention that one.
Oregon as well.
Even Ohio State, a 10-point lead last year. He can't get it done, and he can't get it done in the shoe. He won't get it done in this game. I think Penn State will be an elite team this year. I think they will. I'm still questionable. I still question Drew Aller, but nonetheless, Penn State will be a pretty good team this year, but they won't get this one done. They have, but we haven't seen it in a while. So give me Ohio State. Probably a close game. I'm thinking probably 24-28, something like that in favor of OSU.
I think that Penn State, I don't know about them being an elite team this year. Like you said, you hit my main point. I am not sold on Drew Aller. In big games, Drew Aller does not show up. The running game, yes, I believe in they'll have a good running game going. But I don't believe in the passing game. If they couldn't get it done with the tight end that they had last year, and they kept going away from him, I don't trust that coaching staff to stay on pace with. I think they get emotional in the game and they lose sight of what they have. I think that's always going to be a mark of James Franklin, and he'll go down in another big game.
And I forgot to mention that as well. Penn State, who is your Tyler Warren this year?
No.
Because I understand you're going to have that ball rolling on the running game. You guys are going to be able to run the ball. Probably the best we've seen since you guys had Saquon Barkley. Who is your Tyler Warren this year? If you don't have that elite tight end, because I don't see any elite receivers, I'm going to keep it real. I don't see any elite receivers out there. If you don't have that Swiss Army knife tight end that can play quarterback, running back, tight end, receiver, everything you need him to do, how is this offense going to roll without the running game?
I don't know. Drew Aller is what they're trusting.
You stuff the box, it might be over.
Yeah.
Now, week 11, LSU at Bama. These games usually don't disappoint either. Last year, I don't know what happened. LSU, they came out, and I was like,
they look strong.
Yeah, like the entrance looked great until the ball got kicked
off.
Then, I don't know what happened. But there's a reason I put this game up specifically, and that's because that's the last time, I think. Yeah. That's the last time LSU went to Bama and got a win. Who was their quarterback? Joe Burrow. 2019 LSU team was elite. I think they do it again this year. I think LSU, like I said, I'm not high on Bama. I don't think they have the quarterback. I'm still waiting to see. I am high on LSU. I think them and Texas are the two best teams in the SEC. I really do. And I think this is when they show it. You have to go to Bama and you have to get that statement win. You do this, you pretty much lock up a spot in the SEC championship. You still got to win out after that. But this is a huge critical win. The question is, can Brian Kelly do it? That's the big question. He's beat Bama before at LSU. Can he do it in this environment? I like him over Kalen DeBoer, even though, Brian Kelly, he doesn't win the big ones. More coaching experience. More experienced quarterback, more coaching experience. Yes. I think LSU walks into Tuscaloosa. It'll be close. Like I said, this game, it's probably a coin flip. It'll be close. Give me LSU.
Okay, so you hit the major point. Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly is known to choke a game that he should have in the bag. On paper, LSU by far is the better team, because their offense is so much better than what Alabama has, minus the offensive line. I still think Alabama can have one of the best offensive lines in the nation. I think their offensive line
maybe minus receiver too. That Bama receiving core is pretty good.
Okay, yes, but for the receiving core, you got to have a quarterback. Big question mark at quarterback, but I think Alabama will be able to run the football. I think running the football is what's going to make the difference in this game for Alabama. I think I think Brian Kelly will do what he normally does, and that's choke in a game where he should win. He's going to go into that environment. He's going to get shook, and then that'll be the difference for Alabama to come out with a victory on that one.
It'll be close. Like I said, coin toss type of game.
Because I'm with you. LSU on paper, them in Texas are probably best teams in the SEC.
Yeah,
but I just don't trust the coaching staff for either of those teams. I think they'll lose games that they should not have any business losing.
Yeah, that's understandable. We have to wait and see. Brian Kelly, you've been coaching 30 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't won too
Choking
many of the
for
big
30
ones.
years.
Yeah. But I think this is his time. I think this is his team. And I think LSU goes to Bama and gets a crucial win.
Okay.
All right, we're getting late in the season. Week 12, Texas at UGA. Now, Texas, 2 times last year, sold against the Bulldogs. Once at home and once in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Sarkisian, it's starting to shape out like Kirby Smart did early in his career. Can he get over the Bama hump? Well, now, can Steve Sarkisian get over the UGA hump? I think this is his year. This Texas team is going to be elite. We have to put it out there. I'm hearing early in camp they might be struggling to get that passing game going, but I think they're going to get it going by this time. I mean, this is week 12.
Yeah.
If your team isn't ready by week 12, then you have no right being in the playoffs. You have no right even competing.
Yeah.
I think Texas will be ready at this point. Now, it is in UGA. That crowd, it is tough. But if Georgia Tech could go in there and almost do it last year, Texas can go in there and do it this year. I think the Longhorns go to UGA. It'll be too much for Gunnar Stockton, that Texas defense. Just like Bama was early in the season, Texas will be late in the season. It'll be too much for him to handle. That Texas defense is going to get after him. Arch Manning is going to he's going to light it up. If there's going to be a game for him to go out and win the Heisman, it's probably going to be here. So, with that being said, give me Texas 28-17. I think they win by 2 scores.
Wow. Okay. In Georgia.
Steve Sarkisian.
I don't see that happening. He's another one. Steve Sarkisian, great coach, but in big games, he sometimes, look no further than the last game they played and that ridiculous call he made on second down against Ohio State. Yes.
Yeah, that was bad.
I need to look no further than that to say he's questionable at best in big moments. I still like the heart of Gunnar Stockton. I look at what he did at the end of that season, the situations that he got put in. He didn't flinch. He looked like a much more confident and heart-strong quarterback than Carson Beck. And and because of that reason, I think he will be able to game manage this situation and put Georgia in a good situation to win the game at the end by 3.
You know who else had heart? Max Duggan. What happened to them? TCU. Smacked. He had a lot of heart. That was the most heart I've ever seen out of a player, honestly. I loved Max Duggan.
And who smacked him?
Georgia.
Thank you.
Oh, that's Georgia of the past. This is not that Georgia. This Georgia is not that Georgia.
Well, you brought up the past, I'm just
saying. Another quarterback with heart got smacked. So I love the heart factor, though. I love that. I do think that Gunnar Stockton has a lot of heart, but heart isn't going to win you football games all the time.
I think it keeps him enough to manage the game. Remember, I'm not looking at him to be a world beater. Just manage the game. Okay. Make the passes that you need to make and control the offense, the tempo, running the football.
Well, game management is going to be tough against a defense like Texas, but we'll wait and see.
Yep.
All right, 2 weeks left, and we got to show the Big 12 some love. We haven't been out there pretty much all season. I don't think we
Mhm.
predicted a single game for the Big 12,
No.
at least in conference. I know that for sure. But ASU at Colorado. ASU, probably the best team in the Big 12. We talked about it already. We think they're going to be pretty good.
Yes.
Colorado in rebuild mode after losing their Superman and Batman combo in Shedeur and Travis Hunter.
Yes.
What will they be able to do? It's late season. We don't know who's the starting quarterback, Julian Lewis or Caden Salter. Late season, you're at home. Can you pull off the upset to knock down Arizona State before we go into championship play? I don't think so. This Arizona State defense,
There you go.
elite. Arizona
you
State's defense is going to be elite this year. Make sure you guys watch for it. Arizona State's offense is still going to be pretty good.
Yep.
Sam Levitt and company,
Like 'em.
Jordan Tyson. I think this ASU team is going to be really good. I've seen clips of their coach going off in press conferences talking about how his guys just aren't giving effort. They suck. They'll have the ball rolling. Trust me, this Arizona State team is going to be pretty good. Put bank on them winning the Big 12 and put bank on them winning this game.
I like the pick. I like it. Reason I like it is Colorado is in rebuild mode, and we have yet to see what they can do without a superstar at quarterback like Shedeur Sanders and an outstanding superstar and Travis Hunter playing both sides of the ball. You're not having anything like that on that Colorado roster this year. Right now, you don't even know who's your quarterback's going to be. That's still being kept under wraps. Is it being kept under wraps? Now, for me, I think of a coach like Coach Prime, and I think he wants to put his best players out there on a pedestal. Let people know. He wants to put them in the situation of them having to go out and shine. They don't have a quarterback that stepped up to say, hey, put me in that situation, coach. Put my name out there. I'm the guy. That makes me think that they're going to be weak in that position. And what did you just say? Arizona State, they have the defense. Now, what is the Big 12 known for? Offense, right?
Yeah. Long, passing
yes.
offense.
Yeah. You see plays going for over 40 yards on a regular.
Over 60.
Yes. Arizona State, they got a solid defense where you won't see that happening much. Quietly, I think they got cheated out of that game against Texas in the playoffs. They showed up. And now you got all those guys coming back. With that type of experience, I think this game is going to get out of hand. Now, one thing for Colorado, they have an offensive line now. Their offensive line has some experience, and they got some playmakers up on the offensive line. But do you have the skill players that you had in the past where you could make the things happen that Deion wants to make happen?
Yeah.
I don't think you do. Give me Arizona State.
Yeah. And rivalry week 14. You know where this is going. Ohio State, Michigan, the game. Michigan has added a lot of energy back into this rivalry after getting spanked for 8 straight years. Now they've put the belt on Ohio State for 4 straight years, and it's OSU's time to respond. What will Ohio State do? It's a coin toss to me. It's in the big house.
Yes.
It's tough for me. This is really tough. But I think with Ohio State, I'm banking on Ryan Day learning his lesson from not trying from controlling his ego, not trying to run the ball, and utilizing what he has on the outside. Last year, Jeremiah Smith only had like 35 yards. That's unacceptable and not that many targets. He needs to get, I don't care if he gets 100 targets this game. Force feed your playmakers the ball. You have 2 NFL receivers out there in Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith.
Yeah.
Force feed them the ball, and you'll probably get this win. It's not rocket science. They've beat you off of your ego the past 2 years at least, probably the last 3. Your ego needs to get in check this game. If you need somebody else to head coach it, then let somebody else head coach it. But get the ball to your playmakers and stop the run. Stop the run. The past few years, you haven't stopped the run. Stop the run, and you'll be okay. I'm banking Ryan Day has learned his lesson. We have to wait and see. My pick might change. Maybe Michigan turns out to be pretty good this year. But for now, for the offseason, I'm taking Ohio State to go to the big house and finally pick up a win in the game.
Okay. All right, yeah, I'll be honest with you. I'm on the fence with this, and I promise you, it feels like you were looking at my notes because my biggest point that I'll say it early put Ohio State over the edge for me right now. 2 words: lesson learned. Lesson learned.
Yeah.
I think after that loss to Michigan, you saw a whole different style of play calling out of Ryan Day and his staff. Just like you were saying, during the playoffs, they force fed the ball to Jeremiah Smith.
Yeah.
They went to him early and they went to him often. And I think that is going to be the lesson that they learn. That's the way they're going to approach this Michigan game. So what if you drive a fancy car and not a daggone steamrolling truck? They're going to stop trying to be that identity of the tough guy, and they're going to say, "Hey, we'll win this game. We'll win this game fancy." And that'll be the difference.
Yeah.
Lesson learned. My biggest worry for Ohio State is how are they going to deal with the feet of Michigan's quarterback.
Yeah, that'll be
Underwood can run that ball.
It reminds me of when Michigan used to throw Alex Orji in the game.
Yes.
And he would go for big yards against Ohio State simply on his legs.
Yeah.
So that dual threat, that's going to be tough.
That's what
you've got a game plan against it, and you probably won't see a quarterback like that.
Nope. The whole season.
Arch Manning can run.
Yeah, Arch Manning can run, but he's not the same style of runner that Underwood is. Arch Manning is running to gain 5-7 yards. Underwood is running the ball to gain 50.
To become the highlight. Yeah.
So I look at that being a big X factor in that game. If they cannot control him on the ground, it could get ugly in the big house.
Yeah. That's weeks 1 through 14, though, the whole season. Now, these picks are bound to change. Even though we're 19 days away from the season, it is still the off season currently. So these games might even change. There might be bigger games to come up.
Yeah.
But we'll revisit them every week. We're going to be predicting the games. So just stay tuned for that. But that's our predictions week 1 through 14. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you subscribe to all the channels listed below. And we'll see you on the next one.